Hello friends, I am Sunil Ranjan and I am an English teacher. So now in this session I have come up with confessional poetry, and here I begin. The term confessional poetry was first used by M.L. Rosenthal in a 1959 review of Life Studies, in which Robert Lowell revealed his struggles with mental illness and a troubled marriage. Confessional poetry is the poetry of the personal or I. This style of writing emerged in the late 1950s and early 1960s and is associated with poets such as Robert Lowell, Sylvia Plath, Annie Sexton, and W.D. Snodgrass. Lowell's book Life Studies was a highly personal account of his life and family ties and had a significant impact on American poetry. Plath and Sexton were both students of Lowell and noted that his work influenced their own writing. The confessional poetry of the mid-20th century dealt with subject matter that previously had not been openly discussed in American poetry. Private experiences with and feelings about death, trauma, depression, and relationships were addressed in this type of poetry, often in an autobiographical manner. Sexton in particular was interested in the psychological aspect of poetry, having started writing at the suggestion of her therapist. The confessional poets were not merely recording their emotions in writing. They were of the view that craft and construction were extremely important. While their treatment of the poetic self may have been shocking to some readers, these poets maintained a high level of craftsmanship through their careful attention to the use of prosody. One of the most well-known poems by a confessional poet is Daddy by Plath. Addressed to her father, the poem contains references to the Holocaust but uses a sing-song rhythm that echoes the nursery rhymes of childhood. Another confessional poet was John Berryman. His major work was The Dream Songs, that consists of 385 poems about a character named Henry and his friend Mr. Bones. Many of the poems contain elements of Berryman's own life and traumas, such as his father's suicide. The confessional poets of the 1950s and 1960s pioneered a type of writing that changed the nature of American poetry. The tradition of confessional poetry has been a major influence on generations of writers and continues to this day. Mary Howe and Sharon Olds are two contemporary poets whose writing largely draws upon their personal experience. So friends, here I come to the end of the topic, and the topic is confessional poetry. And if you have subscribed to my channel, well, it's nice. If you haven't, do subscribe to my channel, because in the time to come, I'll be coming up with more videos and very useful videos for you that will help you in your career and in your lifestyle at the same time. Thank you.